you see me okay? Okay. Hi, I'm Srinivas Aditya Mopidevi. I'm curator of special exhibitions at Morte. I'm going to take you around today the ongoing exhibition Infinite Reminders that I have curated at the gallery. So as you saw outside, it is a flag by Thai artist based in New York, Hector Tiruvanija, who has contributed a flag with the slogan that says, "Do we dream under the same sky?" We also had an Hindi translation of it saying, "Kya hum ek hi aasman ke tale khwab dekhte hain," which is an iteration that he particularly made for us here in Delhi. So, to explain a little bit about the exhibition, Infinite Reminders started with this through my interest in the idea of horizons, which is to think about politics and life as these horizons that we move towards and not singular destinations. It's also inspired by a mentor of mine from the university. So when I started thinking about horizons, I think at this point in time, it's also so much about the pandemic has taught us, it's about the idea of the slowness. So the exhibition in retrospect for me is a rumination on different kinds of slownesses and what does that mean in an artistic and curatorial sense. And the work that we are seeing here is a 1997 video by artist Edith Dekind, who is a Belgian artist who is interested in movement and also is been one of the artists in the 90s who has explored the medium of the video to its great potential. And of course he's very much interested in the elements such as air and water. And as you see here, you have a work from 1997 which is from this series of objects called what she calls slow objects, and she's playing with this rubber element in her hand inside a vacuum. It's like an aquarium, so you can see that you can't really tell what is it creating, that kind of difference between the movement between the hand and the rubber. One of the other works that are a lot of the works in this exhibition are about movement, moving, mobility, water, air, wind, and also materiality, such as paper, which we will see in a bit. So this is a project, the wave that you see in front of you is a project by Bahar Behbahani, an Iranian artist who is based in New York. She's from Tehran but based in New York. So it's a project called Mother River, which is Bahar's interest, which explores Bahar's interest in water and particularly rivers. So as you see, as you go forward, each of these work is a response to a particular river in the world, which were these very key mother rivers in that particular country and have eventually became polluted due to coal mining and other mining activities. So this one, the first one, is Odra River from Poland, and then we have the Ohio River from Ohio, and then we have the Yellow River from China, and Rancheria River from Colombia, and the Indus River from Pakistan, and the Olifants River towards the end from South Africa. So each of these rivers basically have a relationship in the sense that they're all the key rivers in the respective countries, which were these seminal water bodies at some point, but then almost kind of head towards this sense of pollution and extinction in a way. So the Mother River project faces a work by Vibha Galhotra. You can just, which is, go to the password, which is a work that is inspired to speak about the condition of the planet Earth, and especially talking about the human impact on the planet. What I like about it, it's a work that kind of signifies a certain kind of action, as if there's a force that has damaged the surface, and the surface here being the planet Earth. It's also, Galhotra is also inspired, this particular series called the Wounded series is also inspired by the Somnath Ghore's series called Moons of the same title. And it's a set of works, we will see the another work in a little bit, to to think about the mother rivers that are polluted almost merging to a space where you're talking about the planet that is facing the extinction. We have Aisha Singh. A lot of the people who visited the exhibition has asked us whether it's a particular script, whether it's Arabic or whether it's some other kind of Islamic language. But then actually the work is inspired by the architectural traditions of European architecture, Mughal architecture, and towards the end the fusion of them. And Aisha, who's interested in questions of architecture and also how do we experience architecture today, which is something that I'm very, very fascinated about. Also, one of the key things about architecture is perhaps the longest surviving temporality in a very material sense. So a beautiful way to see Aisha's work is from the side, where each you can see it from here. So where each dip is actually changing the design of a pillar capital, going from the European to the Mughal towards a fusion that is inspired by her family home. Facing Aisha is what we have, a work from 2017 by Varunika Saraf, who's an artist based in Hyderabad. Has a trajectory of this very unusual marriage between the miniature tradition at the same time about commentary on contemporary politics. And this is the only work in the exhibition, even though the works in the exhibition allude to a certain sense of political horizon and the instability of social and ecological realities that we live today. This is the only work that directly speaks to it by, if you see this cosmological kind of cosmos, the field of the cosmos has figures of, Rohit Vemula, there is Gauri Lankesh, there is Ambedkar, a lot of key social figures who have contributed to a lot of social transformations in the past decades or more. I also want to kind of go a little zoom into the materiality of it. It's a paper pasted onto the canvas, and how it kind of creates this almost a constellatory kind of experience, and especially the beads. If you can zoom into the beads. We have here inside another work from the Wounded series by Vibha Galodra, where one of the most fascinating things, for me at least, to have in the show is to how do you think about the idea of presence, and what does that idea of presence through, for example, here through the materiality of paper do to you as a spectator, and how do you use or build on that idea of presence within the space of an exhibition. And for me, the Wounded series has been a very very meaningful engagement in the putting together of this exhibition. This is a work by Parul Gupta, which is she's an artist based in Delhi. It's a work that is of 5 independent panels, each plugged with a kinetic movement device inside, and programmed in a way that it creates these temporary compositions between this larger composition that she has created. So for Parul, the idea is to how do you explore space and perception at the core, And with this, she takes it to another level, because it's not about how do you create illusions or shifts in perceptions within the stasis of the paper or the canvas. It's also where you introduce a subtle kinetic movement in them. So if you see from the front, you will identify that there are fields that are black, fields that are red, and the movement creates a subtle way where there will be a moment where the black fields align in one single alignment of the 5 fields, and there will be a moment where all the red fields align, coming to stasis. So it's over 11-minute loop that constantly realigns itself, and it's also perhaps the most patience-inducing work in the exhibition, because it really demands the viewer to look, spend time, and shift their fields of perception quite centrally, because otherwise there is a possibility for you to miss what is really happening in terms of movement in the work. We'll go inside to Jenny and Anthony. This is a work by Janine Anthony, who's a Bahamian artist based in New York. Janine has one of the most fascinating to me thing about this work for me is also this is the central anchor of the exhibition. There's this beautiful thing that Janine says, that when she started to walk on this tightrope, it is not so much about the desire was not so much about finding balance, but it is also mostly about making peace with the imbalance that it induces. So somewhere for me it's a kind of the telling of the world, where it is not so much that we have to find this kind of endless balance, but it's more about making our strategies acts in such a way that you are capable of like making peace with the imbalance that will be there according as per the path. One of the other things that this is the horizon that you see in front is the horizon that Janine Anthony has grown up with. It is in front of a family house in Bahamas, and the rope in between creates this illusion at very small moments, as if she's walking on the horizon. And I think that's the moment, as if that for a fraction of a second for Janine, it feels like as if she's touched the horizon. And it's interesting because the horizon becomes this endless journey of finding ways, strategies to move forward, not necessarily in a linear direction. And exhibition Infinite Reminders says that art somewhere becomes this central reminder in that kind of infinite journey that all of us are heading towards. Thank you so much for joining us. If you have any questions, please reach out on our social media on HMOT. This is the last few days of the exhibition. The exhibition completes on the 18th. So if you're in Delhi, please come see the show. I'll be around and happy to take you around. Thank you so much.